Namaskar. I Shambhavi welcome you all to your channel Galactic Echoes. So let's start exploring the wisdom of Vedic astrology. So today we'll be talking about the most talked about topic in the whole astrology, which is of course Rahu. What is it? People say that Rahu is a shadowy planet and it is not an actual planet, it's just an imaginary node of a planet moon. But Rahu, it's immensely majestical. You and I, as humans, we cannot fathom what wonders it can do. So, this is something which we should get into and we should try to discover. The other planets in the solar system, even if it is Saturn, they all are in their limits. They all have boundaries. They cannot cross that thing. But Rahu, it can do anything. It can do any wonder. And you won't be able to calculate it. You won't be even able to judge it that it was done by that particular energy. So Rahu's energy is something which we should study deeply and which we should channelize because it is very important in this time of Kali Yuga. So we'll get into that in some other day in a video soon. But for this video, let's dive in. This is not a general video on Rahu, it is the video on its transit. See, Rahu will be transiting into the sign of Aquarius on 18th of May 2025, and what kind of results it will give to specific ascendants, we'll figure it out in this video. The most important fact in today's world is that Rahu is a planet which is the most important thing in our lives today. Why? Because you are seeing me through Rahu. Internet and Android phones or iPhones or whatever technology we have developed over time is due to Rahu. Rahu incepts us with certain creative and innovative ideologies and ideas that manifest and bloom into something innovative and something different. So now see, the thing is that without Rahu we cannot survive in today's world because we are not living in the stone age. Our life is not as simple as that we can get up early in the morning as sun rises and we go on a hunt, we kill some animal and we feed on that. This isn't so now. How are our lives changed? We changed because of this Rahu, this illusion, this Maya. Rahu is a medium that connects you with the unseen, with the 12th house, with the liberation. Because see, whatever is present in this world, in this nature is there. But Rahu is the thing, Rahu is that virus through which it gets connected to us as human beings and them as the unseen part of this world. So Rahu has this type of power or this type of energy that it can manifest anything into something great, into something big, which any other planet it cannot do. And because this Kali Yuga is the time of Rahu and Saturn, so we cannot forget, take into consideration the Rahu factor because it is very important. Now, people are scared of Rahu. Whenever I say to anyone that you are going through your Rahu's Mahadasha, they are scared, think that something is bad going to happen to them, but it is not so. Because if you want to become an IAS officer also, you will be working for the government, either moon or the sun, meaning either the state government or the central government. But for that you need Rahu. You need internet to study. The material is online available. Everything is through Rahu. Rahu, you cannot separate it from your daily work, daily routine. So don't get afraid of it. Don't be scared. You should inculcate and channelize its energy in an innovative way to get most out of it. First of all, we'll have to take into consideration some general points as we do in all of the transit videos, as we do not have ashtag work in relation to Rahu and Ketu because they are considered to be the shadow planets, and they do not give any points in ashtag work to any Rashi or signs. So how do we analyze this transit? What are the other factors which will affect this planet's transit? Also, I'll be doing this video is only about the Rahu's transit. I'll be bringing another video on the Ketu's transit soon. So for that you have to stay connected. So let's move on to some general points. So Rahu is the Maya of everything in which we live. In today's world, everything which is human made or man made is Maya and is Rahu, which is not basically natural. Like if you make a dam from science or something like that, it is Rahu. Even if you are doing it for the nature, for helping out the people, it is also considered to be in the realm of Rahu. Rahu is doing things and is trying to make things to have that amrit which it has always been into, which it has always chased. Because see, as we know that there are two major stories related to Rahu in the mythology, in the Hindu mythology, which are, the first one is of the Mohini Avtaram of the Vishnu, when after the Samudra Manthan, the nectar of immortality was being distributed among all the demons and among all the devatas. So as we all know, the demons, they were being cheated on, and the devatas were being served the real nectar of immortality, the Amrit, and the demons were not. So the Svarbhanu, a demon who was intelligent enough to know that thing, that yes, something fishy is going on and we are not, we are being served the regular alcohol, whatever liquid it was a regular liquid, it was not the nectar of immortality. So what it was is that Svarbhanu, he tried to get into that camp of into that line of devatas. So he disguised himself as sun, because he always wanted to become that, the sun, the ruler, the ultimate ruler of the whole planetary cabinet. And he sat there in that line and he wanted to drink that amrit, that nectar of immortality, and he did that, he achieved that thing. But as soon as he achieved that, his disguise was called off and he was exposed, and the Mohini Avtaram, with the help of the Sudarshan Chakra, it off its head, and from there we get the head known as Rahu and the body known as Ketu. Now I'll be making a video in which we'll get deeper insights into this whole saga, but the main points which we can take from this thing is that Rahu is expert in disguise. So from this point we can conclude that wherever it sits, it behaves like that planet. If it is placed in the sign of Cancer, it behaves like moon, and Rahu loves to sit in the sign of Leo because he wants to become that sun. And the next thing is, the next major mythological story from our Hindu text is of the Varaha Avtar. See, all the planets, all the 9 planets in our solar system, they have been given the attributes of the 9 Avtar of Vishnu. So basically, the 9 Avtar of Vishnu attributes to a single planet. Like Kumbha Avatar has been attributed to the workings of Saturn. Similarly, the Varaha Avtar has been attributed to the workings of Rahu. Now, what is it? Varaha Avtar was the Avatar, the celestial wild boar, which rescued Mother Earth from the clutches of a demon, Hiranyaksh, and so yes, it did good to Mother Earth. So now, what we get from this story is that Rahu is unpredictable. This is something that yes, it works for the nature and the sign it rules, Aquarius, and is coming back in this transit to its domain, its own co-ruled house, which is also ruled by Saturn but also ruled by Rahu. So Rahu will be working towards the nature, towards the Mother Earth. But the more important thing than this thing, that it will be helping the Mother Earth out, is that it is unpredictable. And Rahu is subjective. Like, you must have heard that Rahu is exalted in the sign of Taurus and it is debilitated in the sign of Scorpio, but it isn't so, because the debilitation and exaltation of Rahu, it is related and it is connected to the specific charts. Basically, you have to read the whole chart in order to get what that whole demon and that whole serpent is pointing towards. You cannot see, yes, because Rahu is sitting in the sign of Scorpio, so it is regulated. It is not so. It is not like that. So you have to check the whole working of that chart, the minute particles which are adding up to a certain idea or certain event. So Rahu is, in my view, very subjective planet. Rahu Ketu, they both are. The whole demon is, and you cannot predict it. Like, I think astrologers, all the astrologers around the world, they find this prediction, Rahu Ketu's prediction, to be the most difficult ones. And there is no astrologer who can tell you everything about these planets. So this is the major thing which we can see from the Rahu's transit into the sign of Aquarius. Now, what are the things which you should take into consideration? So what are the points we should take into consideration? Is the first one is that Rahu, as soon as it will enter in the sign of Aquarius, it will start behaving like an uncontrollable retrograde Saturn, because Rahu and Ketu's original mode of movement is in retrogression. So retrogression is a very important theme in this whole transit for these 1.5 years, because Rahu is coming in its own home, the Aquarius sign. The next thing is, you should check the placement of moon in your chart. Why? Because Rahu and Ketu are shadowy planets, and scientifically we say that these are some imaginary points on the poles of moon. So basically, Rahu is on the north node of moon and the Ketu is on the south node of moon. So you should check the placement of moon in your case. It is very important to predict Rahu and Ketu, the workings of Rahu and Ketu. Now, the third thing which you should check is the retrograde planets. Because although I haven't made a video on retrograde planets, but I will bring a special video on retrogression, the only one-stop solution towards all the planets about retrogression, when this channel will hit 1000 subscribers. So it is a call out to everyone to support this channel for getting more interesting insights about retrogression, of course. So retrograde planets, they behave in a similar kind of way as Rahu and Ketu. Retrograde planets, they give ball to Rahu and Ketu because they are in the similar motion as Rahu and Ketu. So you should check the retrograde planets. If your Lagnesh is retrograde, for example, if you are a Sagittarius ascendant and Jupiter is retrograde in your chart, so yes, this transit is the most important thing which you should study deeply, because major of the events in your life will be depending on this placement of Rahu wherever it is transiting into your chart. Also, after this video, I'll be bringing a video on Rahu over all your natal planets, basically Rahu over Jupiter, Rahu over Saturn. So I'll be bringing that video also, because Rahu's transit cannot be studied only through the placement of the only through the sign it is transiting in. So this is something very important. So these are the major points which you should look for: the placement of moon, the placement of retrograde planets in your case, and the placement of Saturn, because Rahu will be entering into the sign of Aquarius, which is also ruled by Saturn. So you should check that these major placements. So let's start with the specific ascendants. So for the Aries ascendant people, Rahu will be transiting into the sign of Aquarius in your 11th house. So this transit will stir up big desires and confusion in areas linked to friends, social networks, your social groups, your incoming gains, your older siblings, elder siblings. Now, since Rahu co-rules this Aquarius with Saturn, it brings a mix of mind games and reality checks. Because see, Rahu is the Maya. Aquarius is about social circles and big goals, achievements, desires, hopes, wishes. So Rahu here might make you chase flashy opportunities, or you getting obsessed with fitting into certain kind of group, into certain kind of network. But Saturn, the physical ruler of this sign, reminds you to stay practical. Don't fall for shortcuts or for empty promises. So this transit of Rahu will light up your calm trichon. So calm trichon includes the third, seventh, and 11th house in your case. So which are all about the desires, the relationships, the actions, the courage, your younger siblings, and your goal reaching capacity. So in the 11th house, Rahu can create sudden gains or losses. For that, you have to check the placement of the natal Rahu and of course of the Saturn. Through friends or projects or social circles or your elder siblings as well, you might feel a strong urge to earn more, grow your network, or join new groups. But Rahu's illusion could make things look better than they are in actual real sense. For example, a friend might promise big rewards or big connections, but it could turn out to be a lie. Because Mars is your chart's ruler, it makes you act fast, but you should be careful not to jump into deals or friendships without thinking. This is very important. You have to and you should control that impulsivity, especially in the 11th house areas or things related to 11th house. Now Rahu's aspect will be on the third house in the sign of Gemini. Now aspects should be taken into consideration when studying the transit of Rahu, and Rahu only, because Ketu doesn't have any aspects, because Rahu works in this kind of system. Because see, Rahu is the planet which wants to gather more and more. In order to get that, he wants to control whatever areas are related, whatever areas it is able to control. So the trichon is very important in any sense. Nadi astrology tells that trichon is very important, and they consider the planets in trichon to be in a conjunction. So it is very important in the case of Rahu, its placement or whether its transit, to study the trichon placements. So sitting in the 11th house, it will look upon to your third house and 7th house. When it will look onto your third house, it will affect communication with siblings and sibling relationships as well, short trips, business meetings. Rahu here might make you overthink over any conversation which you had with your siblings, or argue more, or feel restless. You could obsess over small details or gossip, which strain your relationship with your siblings, with your co-workers as well. Because third house, it represents co-workers also. And the Mars, your Lagnesh, it adds heat into your personality. So you might speak bluntly or push too hard to get your way. So my advice would be, take a breath before reacting. In this period of 1.5 years, it is very important for you. Now this Rahu will look onto the 7th house in your case. Now in this area, in this house, it will cover partnerships and marriage and business meetings, these themes. So Rahu here can create illusions in relationships. You might idealize someone new, or suspect that your partner is hiding something from you. Obsessive thoughts about love or business deals could also lead to rushed decisions over anything which is related to the 7th house. So Mars's energy might make you confront issues head on, which can also conclude in negative ways. But balance this with patience. Don't ignore the red flags. I'm not saying that you have to blindfold yourself and just move on blindly. No. But you shouldn't be assuming the worst scenarios in this case, especially if you are running through your Rahu Madasha. So Rahu's main lessons here is to see through illusions. It will test your ability to separate real opportunities from fake ones. For example, a job offer through a friend might seem perfect and the most the ideal deal, but it will lack stability. or like a new relationship might feel exciting, but it isn't built on trust, so it will shatter sooner or later. So Rahu's influence in Aquarius will push you to work hard and wait for results. This is the only remedy which you can do. Don't let your Rahu's impatience ruin your progress, because your Rahu sitting in the 11th house. The best remedy you can do is to be innovative, to think out of the box. So these are the things which you can do in order to remain calm throughout. Mars as your ascendant lord or your Lagnesh makes you bold and action oriented. But with Rahu's obsession, you might push too hard for quick wins. This could lead to burnout or conflicts also. So you should use your Mars's courage wisely. Focus on goals that truly matter, not just what looks good, because you will be filled with baseless ego this time, because that I have such huge connections, I am intermingling with these people, and they are the stalwarts of their specific and related fields, but they won't help in your growth. You should understand this. See, Rahu is the only planet which is able to make anything larger than life. See, if there is a small rat in your home or in your house, it will make it look like a huge dinosaur so that you are scared. This is what Rahu does. So maybe in those huge circles which you are roaming, there may be some good contacts, but you have to pat on them. You have to choose those things. You have to clear that fog from out, from your eyes. What will be contributing in my growth and what will not. Also, health wise, stress from overworking or mood swings could affect your legs or your knees or your sleep. So keep routines simple and avoid ignoring small health issues. They can build into some huge problems, health problems. Overall, this transit is about balancing big dreams with reality. In your case, Rahu will tempt you with shortcuts, definitely this time, but because the other ruler of the 11th house, Saturn, rewards steady effort. So stay grounded, question your motives before doing anything, taking any decision. Don't let fear of missing out drive your choice. Talk openly in relationships, double check your financial plans, and take time to reflect. Rahu's illusion fade when you face them with honesty and practicality. So let's move forward and let's understand this transit for the people having Taurus rising. So for Taurus ascendant, this transit will be happening into the 10th house of yours in the sign of Aquarius. It will shake up your public image, your career, your long-term goals. Now since Aquarius is co-ruled by Rahu and ruled by Saturn as well, so this transit will be a mix of big ambitions with hidden traps. So Rahu here lights up the Earth record in transiting into the 10th house of yours, which is the second, 6th and 10th house. All these three houses will have the direct impact, which will make you focus on money, work and status. You will feel a strong pull to chase success, but Rahu's illusions could blur the line between real opportunities and empty hopes, empty promises. Now Venus is the ruler of your chart, is your Lagnesh, and it wants comfort and stability. But Rahu pushes you towards unconventional paths, especially in career. So you can expect tension between playing it safe and taking risks. You will be confused. What should I do at my career front? Should I go for this job? Should I quit my regular job and hit this risk or not? So this will be the major thing in your case. Now in the 10th house, Rahu can make you obsessed with career growth or social status. You might chase jobs in technology or tech driven companies, or in activism or unique fields like NGOs or something protecting earth. But these paths could feel unstable or unclear, because Rahu's illusion here in the 10th house might make a job offer or promotion seem perfect, but you should dig deeper. Ask if it aligns with your values. Saturn's influence on the 10th house of yours reminds you to build slowly. Even if Rahu tempts you with shortcuts, Venus's love for luxury might clash with Rahu's restlessness and its restless energy. So avoid, flashy career moves that don't last long, that are hollow from inside. Now, sitting in the 10th house, Rahu will also aspect the second house of yours, which is important to consider because the aspects of Rahu are very important. Second house rules your income, your savings, your speech, your family values. So, Rahu's touch here could spark sudden money gains or losses that you should predict from your natal placement of Rahu. You might obsess over earning more or feel insecure about finances, your savings. For example, a side hustle or investment might look profitable but hide risks. Rahu can also distort your communication with your family members, so you should think before speaking, as words might be misunderstood or used against you by paraphrasing. So, Venus's charm as your Lagnesh helps smooth things over, but don't let Rahu trick you into oversharing or financial gambles. This is something important because it will tempt you. It will tempt you towards those things. Also, sitting in the 10th house, it will aspect the 6th house of your as well. So, in the 6th house, it covers work routines, your job, your health, your rivals, your debts. Now, Rahu here might make you overwork to prove yourself, leading to burnout. Health issues linked to stress like indigestion or skin problems could flare up if you ignore self-care. This is important. Office politics or competition might feel intense in these 1.5 years. Don't get obsessed with winning or comparing yourself to others. This is important because Venus's diplomacy can help you navigate all these conflicts, but Rahu's paranoia might make you distrust colleagues, which then can strain your relationship at the workplace. So stay calm. Not everyone is out to get you. They are not backstabbing you. You shouldn't think this way. And you shouldn't be overblown with the ego that you are intermingling and you are having daily coffee informal meetings with your CEO of the company. You shouldn't also be doing that because that might also strain your relationship with the co-workers. With Rahu in the 10th house, your reputation is in focus. You might crave recognition or fear being overlooked. Rahu could tempt you to cut corners for quick fame at your workplace. But because the Saturn is also the ruler of your 10th house, so its discipline means real respect comes from consistency, not shortcuts. This is very important to understand. Venus, ruling your chart, being your Lagnesh, wants harmony and it balances out with both Rahu and Saturn. But you should have your ambitions linked with kindness. Avoid sacrificing relationships for status. You shouldn't be doing this because then it will harm when this Rahu will transit into the sign of Capricorn after 1.5 years. So financially, unexpected windfalls can also come or expenses could also come through networks or online ventures at your workplace, or maybe if you met someone at your workplace. But Rahu's illusion might make you overspend on things that don't matter long term. So save wisely and avoid get rich quick schemes, these kind of things in your life for these 1.5 years. Health wise, because it also impacts the 6th house of yours, routines they will matter. So you should stick to regular meals and good sleep cycle. You should maintain a good sleep cycle and gentle exercise as well. Don't ignore small symptoms of anything or any disease or even the viral fever. You should immediately contact your doctor. Spiritually, Rahu's focus on material success might distract you from your inner peace. But Venus's love for beauty can help in this phase also. So you should balance work with creative hobbies or time in nature. You can also have a 30-minute walk in your nearby park. This Rahu's transit is a test for you. That can you chase goals without losing yourself to greed or stress? This is the major theme in your case. So stay grounded, verify facts, and let Saturn's patience guide you, not Rahu's restlessness. Also, to avoid all these things, the best remedy which you can do is to be innovative and think out of the box at your workplace, or maybe get into something which is unpredictable and especially related to your creative hobbies or interests, your passion. Maybe if you love playing guitar, you should open a YouTube channel, or you should give tuition to small children in your vicinity for harnessing that thing of 10th house. Because see, because Rahu is the most unpredictable planet in the whole solar system, and Rahu will also help you in your career if you do these things. If you become innovative at your workplace, and if you think out of the box, and if you do karma out of the box not related to your regular routines. So this is the theme for you for these next 1.5 years. So let's move forward and let's understand this transit for the Gemini ascendants. So for the Gemini ascendants, Rahu's transit into the sign of Aquarius will be happening into the 9th house of yours. So it will stir your beliefs, your belief system, higher learning, relationship with mentors and gurus, sense of purpose, your religious ideology. Since Aquarius is co-ruled by Rahu and is majorly ruled by Saturn, this transit blurs the line between spiritual curiosity and confusion in your case. So because of the fact that Dharma Trikona will be lighting up when Rahu will transit into the 9th house of yours. So focusing on your identity, creativity, romantic affairs, life philosophy, and how all these things they feed your personality and your being on this planet Earth is the major theme. So Rahu's illusion here can make you question your path, or chase grand ideals, or obsess you over finding the truth. Because Mercury, your chart ruler, loves logic and practicality and communication. But Rahu's fog might push you into overthinking or believing in half truths. So you should stay sharp. You should verify facts before getting swept up in any ideas. Also, your relationship with your father might suffer. So you should make a clear note there as well in relationship with your father. So because Rahu will be in the 9th house, it can make you obsessed with unconventional beliefs, spirituality, or foreign cultures as well. You might feel drawn to radical philosophies, or some online gurus, or travel plans can also be fabricated in these 1.5 years that promise adventure and long travels. But Rahu's illusion could lead you down paths that feel profound at first, but they lack real depth. So maybe you are choosing something hollow over something solid that will let you down, related to the 9th house. Saturn's influence on the 9th house of yours remind you to test ideas before committing to anything. Don't blindly trust your mentors or your ideologies or even your father figures as well. Mercury's curiosity will drive you to explore, but you have to balance it with common sense. This is very important because everything cannot be explained by science. Now Rahu will be aspecting your first house, sitting in the 9th house. So it will affect your self image, your personality, and Rahu's touch here might make you restless about your identity. You could experiment with new looks or attitudes or speech as well, or personas to feel seen in the world. But this thing, it risks feeling lost or inauthentic in the long run. Obsessive thoughts about how others perceive you could drain your energy. But Mercury's adaptability helps you navigate this. But don't let Rahu's illusions make you chase trends just for validation. That maybe this thing is in trend, this reel is in trend, I have to make this, whatever it costs. This shouldn't be your thinking, your decisions in these next 1.5 years. Now, the Rahu will also be aspecting the fifth house of your. It governs creativity, your children, your romance, hobbies also. All the hobbies are seen from the third house, but in a minor sense, hobbies are also passions, if I have to be accurate, are seen from the fifth house. And Rahu affecting this house could spark intense passions. Maybe a crush feels like destiny or a soulmate, or a creative project consumes you. It oozes out your energy. But beware of these things. Rahu magnifies desires, making fantasies feel real. For example, a romance might start as thrilling in the first phase but lack emotional depth. This is very important. So, Mercury's playful side could push you towards these things, to take creative risks, to take romantic risks as well. But avoid gambling or speculative ventures, I should say, or impulsive decisions in all of these realms, in all of these areas connected to the fifth house, which is stock market, the children, your romantic affairs, and creative projects. So, Rahu's transit will test your ability to separate wisdom from hype. You might feel a pull to rebel against traditional beliefs or adopt radical values or views, but Saturn is also the ruler of your ninth house, and it asks you to build knowledge slowly. Mercury's logic, as your Lagnesh, can help you, but Rahu's illusions might twist your thoughts. Overthinking in this next 1.5 years could lead to anxiety. Health wise, stress from mental restlessness or erratic routines like poor sleep cycle or poor eating habits, they may also surface in these next 1.5 years. But you should prioritize meditation or journaling to calm your mind. You should always seek someone to talk to, build that healthy relationship. Don't get into these uh, you know trend race. As a remedy, you can also lean into Rahu's innovative side. Since Rahu in its co-ruled sign Aquarius thrives on revolution, so channel this energy into creative problem solving. Like as I've already said in the starting of the video, Rahu is the Varaha Avtar. So Rahu's mythical role in saving our Mother Earth from the chaos is the most beneficial remedy which you can do. So in the similar way, you should tackle your challenges coming in from the ninth house with bold, unexpected solutions. For example, if you are stuck in a belief system or you are doubtful about your beliefs, you should explore science or art to find new perspectives. Listen what others are saying about this. Listen others' perspective as well. If you're obsessed with a goal, then break rules but ethically to achieve it. Like doing innovation, it will help you to rise above this Rahu's illusion and the dark side of Rahu. Now, because ninth house is also the house of fortune, so it could bring opportunities through travel, teaching, or publishing your PhD or higher learning work. But Rahu's distortion might make these seem bigger than they are. So, double check all the contracts or offers. And in relationships, Mercury's charm, because as your Lagnesh, it might attract interesting people. But Rahu in the ninth house could idealize partners. But you should see them as they are, not as projections of something divine or something related to divinity. This is important in your case. So, this transit of Rahu in the sign of Aquarius is about evolving your worldview without losing yourself. Rahu will tempt you with shortcuts to enlightenment or success or fame or making fortune, but real growth comes through patience and originality. Also, if you are innovative, you can build that fortune in a good way, because it is the good side of Rahu as well, innovation. So embrace change but stay true to your core. This is important. Rescue your clarity from the depths of confusion and Harness all the things. You should be like that umbrella organization. It embraces everyone. It has a place for everyone. You should be like that. You shouldn't be dwelling on to this is right, this is wrong, this is right, this is wrong. No. Radical views will never take you any place good. This is important in your case. So, yes, being innovative and thinking out of the box and being unpredictable can also help you make great fortune in these next 1.5 years. So let's move forward and let's understand this transit for the people having Cancer rising. So for the Cancer ascendant people, Rahu's transit in Aquarius will be happening into the 8th house of yours. It will push you to confront your hidden fears, your transformations, secrets, occult, mysticism, digging for truths. Now, the sign of Aquarius is co-ruled by Rahu and also Saturn. So, this transit mixes mystery with sudden shifts. This is something important. The Moksha Trikona, meaning the 4th, 8th and 12th house they all will be activating in this transit. So, focusing on home, endings and new beginnings, and spirituality will be the theme in your case. Now, Rahu's shadow here can make you obsess over the unknown, like digging into taboo subjects, crime or astrology, mysticism, occult, or fearing losses, or chasing spiritual shortcuts, spiritual beliefs also. Now, the moon, as your chart ruler, as your Lagnesh, makes you emotionally sensitive. So, Rahu's chaos might feel overwhelming because you are very sensitive, your mind is very sensitive. But this is a chance to heal deep wounds by facing illusions head on. You shouldn't be scared of that fears. If they are coming to you, embrace it and just finish it off. Having that thing on your mind will not help you at all. So Rahu in the 8th house can trigger obsessions with power, intimacy with your partner, or occult topics as well. You might feel drawn to secrets, inheritance, or risky investments also. But Rahu's illusion could make you paranoid, like suspecting hidden enemies or overestimating risks if Rahu is badly placed in your chart. Also, because Saturn is the ruler of your 8th house, Saturn's discipline here reminds you to act cautiously. Even if Rahu tempts you to gamble, you shouldn't be doing that. Because Moon is your Lagnesh, so Moon's need for security might clash with Rahu's restlessness. So you should avoid being impulsive or taking impulsive decisions about your shared money or your shared assets with your spouse or relationships or with your in-laws. You shouldn't be doing that. Don't take hasty decisions in all the areas of the 8th house. Now Rahu sitting into the 8th house of yours will aspect the 4th house in your case, which is of the home, family, mother, your roots, your emotional well-being, emotional security. So Rahu's effect here might stir up unresolved family issues or make you restless about your living situation or the health condition of your mother. You could obsess over creating a perfect home or feel emotionally disconnected from loved ones. Like, for example, a sudden move or property deal might look appealing at first, but it hides stress and problems behind it. The moon being your Lagnesh, and the moon's nurturing side wants peace, but Rahu's illusion could make you chase unstable comforts like overspending on home decor to fill an emotional void because you want that perfect home which you are not getting emotionally through your loved ones, through your family members. So you want to achieve that physically, which puts in this home decor thing. Now it will also affect the 12th house of yours in the Trikona, sitting in the 8th house. So isolation, spirituality, and hidden enemies will be the theme also. These areas will be affected. So Rahu here can blur your intuition. You might daydream about escaping reality or feel haunted by past regrets. Obsessive thoughts about spiritual practices or secret affairs could drain your energy. So you shouldn't be doing or daydreaming about imagining about all these things. The moon's sensitivity might amplify your fears of betrayal or loneliness. But remember, Saturn is also the lord of your 8th house. So Saturn's influence asks you to ground these feelings. Meditation or therapy could help you clear the fog. You have to control yourself. You have to control yourself from that Maya taking toll of you. So Rahu's main lesson here is to release attachments. The 8th house pushes you to let go of control and controlling everything. The 4th house asks you to heal family bonds, especially with your mother and your root. And 12th house urges you to surrender to the unseen, the divine. But Rahu's illusions might make you cling to old pain or chase false security or false problems or false thinking. The moon's moods could swing between craving for stability and self sabotaging or self destruction. So you should practice emotional honesty. Don't go for those mind games, especially in your family. Health wise, stress from suppressed emotions or sleep issues might also arise, but you should prioritize rest and avoid bottling up feelings, bottling up those emotions. Just be clear and let those things out. So, what you can do as a remedy in this next 1.5 years? Lean into Rahu's revolutionary side, the innovative side, because Rahu in its own sign thrives on innovation. So think like that. Think out of the box. Dive deep to rescue clarity from chaos. For example, if stuck in a family pattern or family issue, you should try a bold approach to communication. If you are obsessed with a secret fear, channel that energy into creative art or writing. This could help you. Unexpected actions can break Rahu's illusions. Being unpredictable will help you so much this time. Financially, avoid get rich quick schemes tied to loans or partnerships. Instead, innovate. You should find new ways to earn that align with your values, that align with your values given by the mother when you were young in your childhood days. So, this transit is about transforming through release, through relaxation, surrendering to that divine. Rahu will test your ability to trust the process. Even when things feel uncertain, the moon's intuition is your guide. But don't let Rahu twist it into paranoia, that you overthinking about the secrets, about the fears. Balance emotional needs with rational steps. Let go of what no longer serves you. It was a past thing and let it in that state. Rise above confusion by grounding in love for yourself, for your family members, for your mother especially, and others in a general sense. So let's move forward and let's understand this transit for the Leo risings. So for Leo ascendant, Rahu's transit into the sign of Aquarius will be happening into the 7th house of yours. So it will stir up desires linked to friendships, partnerships, incomes, gains, spouse, marriage, and big dreams, and siblings also, short travels also. Since Aquarius is co-ruled by Rahu and also ruled by Saturn, so this transit blurs your vision, making you chase goals that glitter but might lack substance. This is the theme in your case because your calm trikona is getting activated. So your 3rd, 7th, and 11th house will light up. So you focusing on communication, partnerships, and social gains, you will see yourself getting into these things immensely. Rahu's illusions here can make you overthink on relationships or crave for validation, public dignity, or obsess over shortcuts to success. This will be seen in your case. As Sun is your chart ruler, the Lagnesh, It fuels your confidence and pride. But Rahu's tricks might push you to seek attention in unhealthy ways through making baseless relationships. So stay grounded. The true power lies in authenticity, not illusions, not making that white fog in front of you, not getting, coming out of that smoke. That isn't you. You are the sun. The seventh house rules partnerships, marriages, business meetings, your public dignity. So Rahu here can distort your view about relationships. You might idealize a romantic partner, a business ally, ignoring red flags. So, obsessive thoughts about love or collaboration even could lead to rushed commitments, which can then harm you in the long run. The sun's ego, because being your Lagnesh, might clash here. You could demand the spotlight, creating power struggles at your workplace also, or in your marriage or partnership. So, balance your need for admiration with fairness. This is very important. Not every partnership needs to boost your image or your public dignity. Some are meant to teach humility or to be just on an emotional plane. Now, because sitting in the seventh house, Rahu will be aspecting the 11th house of your gains, social circles, elder siblings, and big dreams, hidden enemies as well. So, Rahu can make you obsessed with social status, group projects, or sudden gains because they are the sudden incoming gains, the 11th house. You might chase friendships with influential people or invest in flashy ventures, but Rahu's fog or smoke it creates could hide hidden costs. For example, a friend's promise of easy money might backfire in your case. Also, take that into consideration that Saturn is also the ruler of your seventh house. So, it reminds you to build slowly all the relationships. Real success needs time. The sun's warmth attracts people because you are sun, you are your Lagnesh's sun. But Rahu's influence might make relationships feel transactional. That can harm you after this 1.5 years when Rahu's transit will end. So focus on genuine connections, not just what others can give you. Because you have to see through that illusion, through that Maya. Because it will be aspecting your third house as well. The third house governs communication, siblings, short travels, public, no, not public, media, television, publication, co-workers as well. So Rahu aspecting this house might fuel gossips, arguments, or restlessness in thoughts or in your courage. You could obsess over proving your point or competing with siblings. For example, a social media debate in your case, because third house is also it also represents social media, might spiral into unnecessary drama in your case. The sun's boldness could make you speak without filtering, without any filter. So think before reacting because you might see yourself blatantly reacting to everything in these next 1.5 years. Also, short trips or projects might feel urgent to you, but they will lack direction. So you should plan those things carefully, and you should think before spending on all the things related to the third house. Now, Rahu's illusion will test your discernment. The 11th houses, social temptations, the 7th houses, partnerships and mirages in partnerships, and the third house, communication, sibling, relationship with the siblings, all these things. So, chaos over all these areas, it demands clarity in your case. The sun's natural leadership can help you, but don't let Rahu twist it into arrogance. For example, a group project might stroke your ego but drain your energy. So you should ask yourself if it aligns with your true goals or not before jumping into it. Health wise, stress from overcommitting 11th house, because it is aspecting your 11th house, can also come, or through heated debates because it looks your third house, could affect your heart or your digestion. So you should check these things. Prioritize calm routines and avoid burnout. This is very important. In your case, commit to only those things which you can complete within the deadline comfortably. Channel Rahu's innovation energy as a remedy, because innovation and revolution thrives in the sign of Aquarius, which is co-ruled by Rahu. So, for example, if you are stuck in a toxic friendship or in a toxic relationship, boldly set boundaries to it. Or you can also, if you are obsessed with a hollow goal, pivot to something meaningful. Even if it is unconventional, you should be doing that. Surprise others and surprise yourself also by breaking free from the old patterns. Financially, I think you should avoid risky group investments. You should innovate instead. You should be innovating in your investments and also in your business meetings, partnerships, and marriages also. Relationships as a whole. Maybe start a side hustle that merges creativity with purposes or something like that. So this transit into the sign of Aquarius in your case of Rahu is about balancing your royal Leo energy with Aquarius's collective spirit, because Leo is the king and Aquarius is the masses. So without king there is no collective masses, and without collective masses there is no king. This is important. You should understand this thing. So Rahu will tempt you with shortcuts to fame or love, but sun's light shines brightest when you lead with integrity, with originality, with authenticity. Let go of ego driven desires, nurture true partnerships, and speak with kindness. It is very important because Ketu will be in your first house, which we will talk about in detail in the next video. But you shouldn't be engaging yourself into headless conversations. Use your courage to rise above illusions, shine, but don't let Rahu's shadow dim your authenticity. This is important. So let's move forward and let's understand this transit for the Virgo risings. So for the Virgo ascendants, the Rahu's transit into the sign of Aquarius will be happening into the 6th house of yours. And it's a earth trichon house. The 6th house is related to daily routines, daily work, health and health routines and healthy lifestyle, and a sense of duty, your job, your rivals, your deaths, your diseases. All these things are seen from the 6th house. Now Aquarius as a sign is co-ruled by Rahu, and also the main ruler is Saturn. Now this transit, it will mix the qualities of restlessness with reality checks in your case, because the earth trichon will be lighting up and you will be more focused on money, service and your career. You'll be chasing stability in your life. Rahu's illusions here can make you obsess over perfection or overwork or chase shortcuts to stability, that because I need stability, in order to achieve stability I need to do this. Mercury, your chart ruler or your Lagnesh, loves logic and details, but Rahu's fog might twist your thoughts, making you overanalyze or doubt your skills. But you have to stay practical, and you should understand that not every problem needs a grand fix. Maybe the problem is in the details, or maybe the problem is the most simple thing which you can think of. Now in the 6th house this transit will be happening, so Rahu can make you hyper focused on work, health or fixing flaws in everything for these next 1.5 years. You might take on too many tasks to prove your worth, or obsess over dieting or with exercise or making a perfect routine. But Rahu's illusions could trick you into extreme habits like chasing dietary habits that can lead to anorexia. Anorexia nervosa is a psychological disorder of getting thin, or another kind of obsession like overloading yourself with side hustles that drain you. Just remember that Saturn is also the ruler of your 6th house, and its discipline reminds you to pace yourself. Real progress is steady and slow, not frantic. But Mercury's analytical mind, as your Lagnesh, you might stress over small errors in these 1.5 years. Now Rahu's chaos demands flexibility. So let go of the need to control every detail. This is, see, Saturn is also transiting into the sign of Pisces. Same theme is repeating, that you have to embrace imperfection. Also, sitting in the sixth house, Rahu will aspect the second house of yours, which is related to income, family values, savings, your relatives. Rahu's touch here might spark sudden money gains or losses also. For that, you have to check the natal placement of Rahu. You could obsess over earning more, maybe through risky investments also, or side gigs or side hustles, as I've already said. But these might be unstable. For example, a quick cash opportunity might tempt you, but hidden costs could emerge later. It can result in negative consequences. So Rahu can also distort communication in your case. You might overpromise or misjudge others' intentions, which can lead into you fighting with someone. Mercury's tact helps you, but avoid getting trapped into people pleasing behavior to secure financial security. That won't bring anything to you. So just stay calm in your voice, especially you have to take control of that, your voice and your speaking skills. It will also look aspect your 10th house from the 6th house. So the 10th house governs your career, your reputation at workplace, your happiness in marriage. So Rahu here can make you crave recognition or chase ambitious goals or chase happiness in marriage. You might feel tempted to switch jobs or start a business or adopt a rebellious image at work, you know, to get things perfect. But Rahu's illusions could make these paths feel urgent yet unclear. Like you want to do this thing, like a job offer that promises prestige but lacks growth, and, and now you are confused. Should I go there or not? Should I be doing the work which I have been doing since all these years? But remember that Saturn is also the ruler of your sixth house. So your daily effort is the key. Success comes through consistency, not shortcuts. Just remember that. Mercury, your Lagnacious practicality, can help you spot real opportunities if you stay grounded and patient. You will be able to judge that what is correct and what is right and what is wrong. So Rahu's illusions will test your ability to balance ambition with reality. Now, the sixth house is also the karaka of stress, and the second house is also the karaka of money, and the 10th house is also the karaka of career. You will dream about all these things, but it won't be into, it won't manifest into anything clear thinking, sort of. So, your love for order might clash with Rahu's chaos. You could swing between over planning and impulsive decisions. This is something, especially at your workplace. Health wise, also, stress from overworking, which is also the sixth house, represented by the sixth house, or anxiety about finances, the second house, could trigger your digestive or skin issues or mental stress also. But stick to simple routines and avoid ignoring minor symptoms. This is important for everyone. Wherever your Rahu is placed, do not ignore minor symptoms of anything. But as a remedy, use Rahu's innovative energy, because Rahu is coming back to its own domain, its own house, its own co-ruled sign, and it thrives on revolution and rebellion. All these things are represented by Rahu in Aquarius. So tackle problems with bold, unexpected solutions at your workplace, especially. For example, if you are stuck in a toxic work routine, propose a new system or delegate task creativity in your office if you hold such position. And if you don't, then I think you should be looking for a better job opportunity. If you are obsessed with saving money, then explore unconventional income streams that align with your skills. Also, break free from old habits by experimenting, like trying a hobby that relaxes your mind instead of rigid self improvement and daily routines and daily exercise routines that won't do anything good to you. This transit to you as Virgo ascendants is all about redefining success without losing yourself to fear or perfection, which is the major theme in your case, being a Virgo ascendant. Rahu will tempt you with quick fixes and sudden gains and sudden shortcuts to success. But Saturn rewards patience. Use Mercury's sharp mind to question illusions. Ask, is it sustainable or not? Or am I neglecting my well being? Will my well being be neglected if I go onto this path? So, focus on quality over quantity in work, finances, and health also. Lift yourself from chaos by trusting your abilities to adapt to any nature, because you do it very good. You are very good at adapting. You are the most adjustable people on the earth. So, growth isn't about being flawless, it's about learning through mindful action in your case. So don't let Rahu's illusion trap you, because see, Rahu gives you illusion, but it also promises success through innovation and out of box thinking. So you should take that into consideration and use it to the fullest. So let's move forward and let's understand this transit for the Libra ascendants. So for Libra ascendants, Rahu's transit in the sign of Aquarius will be happening in the 5th house of yours, and it will stir up your desires around creativity, romance, children, self expression, self creative self expression, I must say. Now, since Aquarius is co ruled by Rahu and the main ruler is Saturn, so this transit mixes wild ideas with reality checks in your case, because Rahu, it gives illusion and reality checks as well. Now your Dharma Trikona will be activated through this transit, so you will be able to focus on your identity, passions, and beliefs. Rahu's illusions here can make you chase grand love stories or creative highs or spiritual shortcuts even. But not everything you see is real. This is something important. Venus, your chart ruler or your Lagnesh, loves harmony and beauty. But Rahu's restlessness might push you to seek validation through risky or unconventional paths. But being a Libra ascendant, you have to understand the theme of balancing. So balance your need for peace with smart choices, because you are born to balance. You are born to balance in everything. You know, now in the 5th house, Rahu sitting in the 5th house for next 1.5 years can make you obsessed with romance or even dark romance or hobbies or standing out for your children or for your creative projects or even for your romantic partners. You might daydream about a perfect relationship or pour energy into art, writing, or speculative ventures also. But Rahu's fog could blur reality, like idealizing someone who isn't right for you or gambling on a creative project that drains resources. So you have to judge that thing, and you shouldn't be getting into that trick of Rahu, because Saturn is also the lord of your 5th house. It reminds you to build slowly. True love or success needs patience. Venus's charm as your Lagnesh attract admirers, but Rahu might tempt you to flirt with drama or chaos or getting so much tacky. But stay honest with yourself about what you truly want. This is important. Getting onto a train because it is leaving the station isn't the right thing. Sitting in the 5th house, Rahu will also be aspecting your 1st house. So the 1st house rules your self-image, yourself, your confidence. So Rahu's touch here might make you restless about how others see you, because you want to breach that elite circle. Rahu does that, right? You could experiment with bold styles, personas or personalities, or people pleasing habits to feel validated physically. Maybe getting onto the fashion trend, but this thing risks your authentic self in the chaos for approval of others, because Venus is your Lagnesh. So the grace helps you charm others, but don't let Rahu trick you into changing just to fit in. True beauty comes from balance in your case, not extremes. Just remember this thing, because you are a Libra ascendant person. Now, Rahu sitting in the 5th house will also aspect the 9th house in your case. So, the 9th house covers beliefs, travels, and long travels, higher learnings, mentors, gurus, fathers. Now, Rahu here can spark obsession with unconventional philosophies or foreign cultures or spiritual trends. You might feel drawn to some foreign online gurus, also exotic trips to foreign land, long trips, or rebellious ideas or ideologies in philosophy and religion. But Rahu's illusions could lead you into half truths or costly adventures also. So plan any trip wisely. Just remember that Saturn is also the lord of your fifth house. It and its influence asks you to verify facts. Don't blindly trust trends or mentors or anything which is available online. Venus's curiosity loves exploring, but pair it with logic to avoid getting lost in hype or trends. This is important in your case. Now, Rahu's illusions will test your judgment, being a Libra ascendant. The fifth house's romantic fantasies and the first house's identity games and identity crisis and the ninth house's belief. These all things need clarity in your case. Venus's desire as your Lagnesh is for harmony and it might make you avoid conflict, but Rahu's chaos and chaotic nature could push you into messy situations. For example, a creative project might promise fame but strain relationships, and maybe you'll sign up for that, which you'll regret after these 1.5 years. Health wise, stress from emotional ups and downs or overthinking could affect your skin or sleep pattern, but prioritize calming routines like art, music, or nature walks, and maybe listening to a song after sunset. As a remedy, you can lean into Rahu's innovative side because Rahu is coming back to its domain in its own sign, in its own co-ruled sign. So, since Rahu in this sign of Aquarius thrives on revolution and it thinks that it is made for rebellion, so dive into chaotic situations to rescue yourself for clarity. For example, if you are stuck in a creative block, try a radically new medium or collaboration with unexpected people, with foreign people, of with guiding, getting guidance from a foreign guru. If you are obsessed with a romantic fantasy or a person, channel that energy into self love or a passion project or a passion creative project. Break free from old patterns by taking ethical risks like sharing your unique ideas, even if they defy norms, especially philosophical norms. Financially, the fifth house link could bring gains through creative ventures or investments, but Rahu's distortion might make risks seem smaller than they are. So avoid gambling or impulsive bets if you are not into this occupation or profession of stock market since a long time. Start a side hustle that blends art with practicality. In relationships, Venus's charm as your Lagnesh might attract exciting partners in these next 1.5 years. But Rahu in the fifth house could make you ignore red flags, manifesting as negative consequences later on. So, see people as they are, not as projections of your dreams. This is important in your case. So, this transit for you as Libra ascendant is about finding your truth without losing balance, because balancing is the most important thing in your case. So, Rahu will tempt you with shortcuts to love, creativity, or even wisdom. But Venus as a Lagnesh rewards sincerity and effort. So question illusions every time and ask, is this aligning with my values, or am I chasing a mirage? These are the things which you should question in these next 1.5 years to yourself whenever you get into romantic relationship, whenever you get into some starting a new creative project. So use your courage to embrace your quirks and let go of people pleasing behavior. This is important. This is for everyone. Shine authentically and let Saturn's discipline anchor your dreams in reality and not Rahu's mirage leading you to something negative. This is important. You should be turning that mirage into an innovative, out of the box thinking, which can also benefit you in a huge way. So let's move forward and let's understand this transit for the Scorpio ascendants. So, for the Scorpio ascendants, Rahu's transit into the sign of Aquarius will be happening into the fourth house of yours, and it will stir deep emotions around home, family, your sense of security, mother, and your relationship with your mother. Since Aquarius sign is co-ruled by Rahu and the main ruler is Saturn, this transit mixes unpredictability and lessons in letting go in your case, because the Moksha Trikona is getting activated, the 4th, 8th and 12th house, and it will make you focus on your roots, transformations, hidden endings and new beginnings. Rahu's illusions here can make you obsess over uh, family dynamics, property matters also, or real estate dealings, or unresolved emotional wounds also from your childhood. But Mars, as your chart ruler or your Lagnesh, adds intensity in all of these things. So you might swing between wanting control and feeling pushed into chaos. You will be confused. What should I do? So balance your passion with patience to avoid rash decisions. This is important because Mars as Lagnesh gives you immense impulsivity, which you shouldn't be clinging on to for these next 1.5 years. Now, Rahu sitting in the fourth house for 1.5 years can trigger restlessness about your home, family, your mother. You might crave sudden changes like moving to a new place or renovating something or cutting ties to feel free. But Rahu's fog or its illusion could make these choices feel urgent yet unclear. For example, a property deal might seem perfect to you, but it hides stress and unalarmed problems. Just remember that Saturn is also the ruler of your fourth house. So, Saturn's discipline reminds you to plan carefully. Don't let impatience ruin stability in your case. Mars, as your Lagnesh, and its drive could push you to confront family issues head on, but avoid forcing solutions to everyone because healing takes time. You have to understand this. Now, Rahu sitting in the fourth house will also aspect the eighth house in your case. So, eighth house is of the shared assets with your spouse, intimacy, secrets, hidden affairs, in laws, and people's money, taxes, so many things. So, Rahu's impact here might spark obsession with power, debts, or others' money as well. You could fixate on a partner's finance or his or her inheritances also, or on taboo topics, that is astrology, mysticism, or anything which includes digging truths. Now, Mars's intensity as your Lagnesh might fuel on paranoia, like suspecting betrayal or hiding truths. But Rahu's illusions could exaggerate these fears. Not every secret is a threat. You have to understand that. Saturn is also the fourth house lord in your case, and it asks you to face shadows calmly. Avoid risky investments or manipulative games. Focus on rebuilding trust with your partner, with your spouse. Now, Rahu sitting in the fourth house will aspect the 12th house in your case of isolation, spirituality, foreign lands, escapism. And Rahu here might make you escape reality through daydreams or substances also. Spiritual bypassing also. You could obsess over mystical practices or feel haunted by past regrets. Let me tell you this thing clear that whenever Rahu transits into the 12th house of anyone or it aspects the 12th house in transit, people get addicted to substances. They try to get that escapism, be it through daydreaming or taking substances or getting addicted onto certain substances. So you shouldn't be doing that because you are getting more and more into the Maya and illusion of Rahu, which can harm you in long run. You could also obsess over mystical practices or feel haunted by past regrets. Mars's energy as your Lagnesh might drive you to fight these feelings. But Saturn is also the lord of your fourth house and it advises you to surrender. So this will bottle up a kind of confusion in your mental status. Health wise, stress from suppressed emotions or sleep issues could surface, or your intimacy with your partner can also, issues from that side can also surface. But prioritize therapy, meditation, or creative outlets to process hidden pain, because if you will bottle it up and if you won't let it get out of your system, it can harm you in many ways. Rahu's illusion will test your ability to release control. The fourth house asks you to redefine your home. The eighth house pushes you to share your power, or just don't get into the negative side of the eighth house. And the 12th house urges spiritual surrender. So Mars as your Lagnesh and its courage can help you, but don't let Rahu trick you into fighting imaginary battles. For example, a family conflict might feel like a war, but pause, reflect, and choose peace over ego. This is very important in your case. Although you are a Scorpio ascendant and Scorpio is not the Mool Trikon Rashi of Mars, but you have that inherent impulsivity in your case, in yourself. Don't exert that in extremes for these next 1.5 years. As a remedy, channel Rahu's revolutionary energy. Since Rahu is coming back to its own sign, its own co-ruled sign, and it thrives on innovation, revolution, rebellion in the sign of Aquarius. So dive into chaos to rescue clarity. If you are stuck in a family pattern or a family issue, try a bold conversation or redecorate your space to reflect your true self. Or maybe you can shift to another new place for these next 1.5 years. If obsessed with a secret, turn it into art or a healing ritual. Break free by embracing the unexpected, like adopting a pet or volunteering to shift your focus outward. Maybe volunteering for a NGO which helps the stray dogs or stray pets, stray animals which are in problem. So financially, avoid joint ventures that feel too good to be true with your spouse especially. Instead, innovate and find new ways to earn that align with your values. In relationships, the passion of the Mars might attract intensity, but Rahu in the fourth house could make you cling to toxic bonds. You have to understand this. Let go of what drains your peace. This is important. True strength lies in your insecurities. So just speak it out to them. Speak it out to your partner, whatever you feel. This transit is about freeing yourself from emotional chains. Rahu will tempt you with quick fixes. But remember that Saturn, as your fourth house lord, rewards slow, honest healing. So use your Lagnesh's fire to courageously face illusions, not fuel them. This is important. You have to rise above fear by rooting in self-trust and also just clearing out that fog with your partner especially. Transformation begins when you release the need to control and embrace the unknown. This is important. Your spiritual surrender is very important. Talking out about insecurities to your partner is very important. And you getting out of that emotional baggage is very important for these next 1.5 years. So let's move forward and let's understand this transit for the Sagittarius rising people. So for Sagittarius ascendants, Rahu's transit will be happening into the sign of Aquarius, into the third house of yours. And it will stir up restlessness in your daily life, especially in communication, short trips, and your drive to stand out. because third house makes Bhavat Bhavam from the eighth house. It is eighth from the eighth. Since Aquarius is co-ruled by Rahu and the main ruler is Saturn, so this transit it mixes bold ideas with hidden traps because your calm trikona will be activated, which is the third, seventh, and 11th house. So you will be focusing on action, partnership, social goals because these are the major domains of 3, 7, and 11 houses. Rahu's illusion here can make you chase quick wins, overpromise, or get lost in fantasies. Jupiter, your chart ruler, your Lagnesh, loves big visions. But Rahu's fog might push you into unrealistic plans. This is important. You have to understand this. Stay grounded, but your optimism is a gift and you have to balance it with practicality. This is very important. Now, Rahu will be sitting in the third house for these next 1.5 years, and it can make you obsessed with speaking your mind, competing, or getting into championships, or proving yourself. You might jump into arguments, or you can also start projects impulsively, or you can also take risks in traveling. But Rahu's tricks could twist your words, like exaggerating truths or getting stuck in a gossip. But you have to remember that Saturn is the main ruler of your third house, and Saturn's discipline reminds you to slow down. Hasty actions might backfire, and your Lagnesh's enthusiasm attracts opportunities. But don't let Rahu's hunger for attention push you into unnecessary drama. This is very important. Now, sitting in the third house, Rahu will aspect the seventh house in your case. So, in the seventh house rules partnerships, marriage, business meetings. Not business meetings are seen from the third house, but business partnerships. So, Rahu here can distort your view of relationships. You might idealize someone new or obsess over fairness in partnership. For example, a business deal or romance might seem perfect, but it hides imbalances. You have to understand that. Jupiter's openness helps you to connect with people, but Rahu's illusions could make you ignore red flags. This is important. You should understand this. You shouldn't be getting married all the Sagittarius ascendants for next 1.5 years. Balance your love for adventure with loyalty. Not every spark needs to become a flame. You have to understand this. Now, Rahu sitting in the third house will also aspect the 11th house in your case. So, the 11th house covers friendships, incoming gains, hidden enemies, long-term goals. So, Rahu here might bring sudden gains through groups or online networks, because Rahu gets better in a Upacha house, which is the third, 11th also. So you could obsess over social status, group projects, or financial windfalls. But Rahu's mirage might make these opportunities feel urgent yet unstable, like a friend's offer that drains your resources because it wasn't for you. Jupiter's generosity as your Lagnesh might tempt you to overspend on friends. You shouldn't be doing that. Set clear boundaries to avoid being used, because Rahu, if you don't have a good natal placement of Rahu in your demon chart, then it can drain you out of your resources. Rahu's illusion will test your judgment because the third house is involved, impulsive actions are involved, the seventh house of partnership and partnership traps, and the 11th house of social temptations all need clarity in your case. You do not have to get into that fog. Jupiter's faith in growth can help you, but don't let Rahu trick you into overcommitting or ignoring reality. This is important. Health wise, stress from overthinking, third house is related to overthinking also, or people pleasing behavior, seventh house. You want that social dignity, right? Seventh house is 10th from the 10th. could strain your nerves or sleep also. So keep routines simple. Walking or journaling can calm your mind. Write everything down. If you feel that problem and if you feel that all the negative things are bottling up in you. So as a remedy, lean into Rahu's revolutionary side. Since Rahu is coming back to its own co-ruled sign, Aquarius, in its own domain. So Rahu in Aquarius is known for revolution, rebellion. So tackle problems with bold, unexpected solutions because Rahu also represents unpredictability. If you are stuck in gossip, which is from the third house, channel that energy into writing or teaching or preaching a religion, a philosophy. If you are obsessed with a hollow goal, the 11th house, then start a community project that aligns with your values and with yourself. So surprise yourself. This is the important thing. Take a solo trip or learn a quirky skill or speak up about a cause you have ignored. These all things can be done by you for as a remedy. Innovation helps you to rise above Rahu's illusions. Getting through this Maya and illusion of Rahu, you can use its innovative side. Now, this transit is about balancing your fiery spirit with wisdom. Rahu will tempt you with shortcuts to success or thrill, but Jupiter's truth reminds you that real joy comes from meaningful growth. This is important. Question yourself and question your cravings. Ask, is this thing serving my higher purpose? Because this is what is represented by your ascendant rising, Sagittarius. Use your courage to dig deep, face illusions, and rebuild with integrity. Trust your intuition, but let Saturn's patience, as the main ruler of your third house, guide your steps. Don't get into Rahu's illusion and its produced fog, and just tackle that query with innovation and out of the box thinking. So let's move forward and let's understand this transit for the Capricorn rising. So for Capricorn ascendants, Rahu's transit into the sign of Aquarius will be happening into the second house of yours, and it will shake up your finances, your values, your sense of attachment with your family members. Aquarius is a co-ruled sign by Rahu, and the main ruler is Saturn. So this transit, it mixes big desires with reality checks in your case, because the earth trichon will be getting activated, which is the second, sixth and 10th house, and it getting activated will be making you focus on money, work and career, because these all things are represented by the earth trichon, stability in a whole sense. Rahu's illusion here can make you chase quick wealth or obsessive behaviors over status, workplace reputation also. So Saturn, your chart ruler or your Lagnesh, loves slow, steady progress. But Rahu's restlessness might push you to cut corners in every aspect it will be looking onto, which is 2, 6 and 10 houses. Stay patient. Real success needs time. This is the thing which you have to understand. So Rahu sitting in the second house for these next 1.5 years can make you obsessed with earning more or proving your worth through money. This will be the major theme in your case. You might take financial risks like speculative investments or side gigs that promises fast rewards, but they hide instability in them. So judge them properly. For example, a friend's guaranteed tip could drain your savings. So just understand this. Saturn is also the ruler of your second house, and it reminds you to save wisely and avoid debt. Your speech might also feel edgy. So think before speaking, as words could strain family ties or work relationships as well. Because Rahu will also be looking onto the 10th house of yours with its ninth aspect. So Rahu will be aspecting the sixth house from sitting in the second house of daily work, health, your rivals, debts. So Rahu here might make you overcommit to tasks to prove your efficiency. You could obsess over perfection also, leading to burnout or clashes with your co-workers in your case. So health issues linked to stress like anxiety or indigestion might flare up if you ignore routines. So it is important for you to stick to routine. Saturn's structure helps you here because it is the second house ruler, the main ruler. So stick to a balanced schedule and avoid for office gossip. This is important because that office gossip can get you some negative consequences. Now Rahu sitting in the second house will also aspect the 10th house in your case. So the 10th house governs your career, your public reputation, your happiness in marriage. So Rahu here can spark sudden career shifts like job offers, promotions, or starting a new business. But Rahu's fog might make these opportunities look glamorous, but they are unstable. So you have to judge them properly. For example, a flashy role might lack long term growth. So Saturn's influence ties your reputation to hard work because it is your Lagnesh. So don't let Rahu tempt you into chasing titles, hollow titles over real skills. You have to understand this. Balance your ambition with humility. This is important in your case. So Rahu's illusion this time will test your discipline. The second houses money affairs and money traps, the sixth houses work stress, and the 10th houses career mirages about promotions and getting better offers. All need careful steps in your case. Don't rush into decisions related to all these three houses. Saturn's cautious nature clashes with Rahu's haste. So you might feel torn between playing safe and taking risks. You will be confused. What should I do? Health wise, stress from financial worries, which is the second house, or overworking, which is represented from the sixth house, could affect your teeth, your gums, or your immune system also. So, prioritize rest and simple meals. This is important. So, as a remedy, you can use Rahu's innovative energy because Rahu will be transiting into its domain, into its co-ruled sign. And Rahu in Aquarius is known for revolution and rebellion and unpredictability. So solve problems with bold ethical moves. If you are stuck in a money related problem, explore unconventional income streams like freelancing or tech skills. You can do this. Just be unpredictable. If you are obsessed with your career status, start a side project that aligns with your values. Break free by upskilling or mentoring others. Innovation helps you rise above Rahu's greed. So you have to understand that point. So this transit for all of you as Capricorn ascendants is about building wealth without losing integrity. Rahu will tempt you with shortcuts, but remember that Saturn rewards patience and honesty. So question your cravings. Ask, is this sustainable or am I neglecting my health? You should be answering these questions before getting into any kind of decision related to the second, sixth, and or 10th house. So use your courage to face financial fears and rebuild security through smart yet grounded steps. So trust your Lagnesh's wisdom, Saturn's wisdom. Slow growth lasts longer than flashy wins. This is the important theme in your case, and you should understand that you can use Rahu's revolutionary skills as a remedy in these next 1.5 years. So let's move forward and let's understand this transit for the Aquarius risings. So for Aquarius ascendants, this transit into the Rahu's transit into the sign of Aquarius will be happening into the first house of yours. So first house is related to your identity, your goals, and how you see yourself in this world is your first house. Now, since Aquarius is a co-ruled sign by Rahu, and the main ruler is Saturn, which is your Lagnesh. So this transit mixes rebellion with reality checks in your case, because the third trikon will be activated, the first, fifth, and ninth house, and it will make you focus on your self-expression, your creativity, and your belief system, and you as a personality and your ideologies in this world. Rahu's illusions here can make you obsess over reinventing yourself, chasing grand dreams, or adopting any radical ideas, or getting your radical ideas into manifestation. But remember, Saturn is the main ruler in your chart. So it adds structure to everything. So balancing Rahu's chaos with responsibility is important. But the clash might leave you feeling torn between breaking free and staying grounded. You will be confused because both are your, Saturn is your main ruler, but Rahu is also your co-ruler, your co-Lagnesh. So you will feel confused in these next 1.5 years. Now, Rahu transiting into the first house of yours can make you restless about your image or your purpose in life. You might experiment with bold systems, attitudes, or life paths to feel unique. But Rahu's fog could lead you into phase of identity crisis also, because chasing trends or personalities or personas that don't truly fit is useless, it's hollow. So Saturn's discipline as your Lagnesh, it reminds you to build a stable foundation. So don't sacrifice your long-term security for short-term thrills. Relationships might feel tense if you project your inner chaos onto others. That I'm so much confused, I am bottling up these energies, these negative energies, so it will ruin your relationships. Now, the Rahu sitting in the first house will aspect your fifth house. Fifth house rules creativity, romance, risks, speculative risk, your children. So, Rahu here might spark obsessions with love or romantic affairs, or your children, or your speculative ventures. A crush could feel like destiny, or a soulmate, or a creative project might consume you, or you might feel drawn raising your children very well. But Rahu's illusions could blur reality, like investing time or money into a fantasy that fizzles. So, Saturn's influence asks you to test these ideas before committing to anything. This is important. For example, a romantic gesture might backfire if rushed. So, slow down and communicate clearly. This is important in your case. Now, Rahu sitting in the first house will also aspect the ninth house in your case. And ninth house covers your beliefs, your spirituality, and your higher learning. So, Rahu here can make you question traditions or chase unconventional philosophies. So, you might obsess over some foreign cultures or foreign philosophies or foreign religion, or spiritual shortcuts also, some radical spiritual ideologies. But Rahu's tricks could lead you into half truths or costly long term trips. So, Saturn's practicality reminds you to verify facts as your Lagnesh. Don't blindly trust trends. This is important. Travel plans might excite you, but plan carefully to avoid scams or delays also. Maybe you are trying to visit this specific exotic location, but you get scammed. First house's identity shifts, the fifth house's romantic fantasies, upbringing of your children, and the ninth house's belief and ideologies, radical ideologies, all need clarity in your case. So Saturn's disciplined nature, it clashes with Rahu's hunger for freedom. So you might swing between rebellion and guilt. So health wise, your stress from overthinking or erratic routines linked to Aquarius's rulership of nerves, or your knees could affect your sleep also, or circulation. So stick to calming habits, yoga, walks, or creative hobbies are important for you to do on a regular basis. So, as a remedy, you can lean into Rahu's revolutionary side, because Rahu will be coming back to its co-ruled sign, which is its domain. So Rahu in Aquarius is known for innovation, rebellion, and out of the box thinking. You have to get onto that thing. If you have to pass this illusion without any negative consequences. So if you are stuck in self-doubt, start a passion project that challenges your norms. If you are obsessed with a hollow belief, then channel that energy into mentoring others or studying science, or science in philosophies or in religion. So break free from old patterns, old systems by embracing ethical risks, like advocating for a cause or learning a taboo subject or helping the natural environmental cause as a whole will benefit you so much in these next 1.5 years. So this transit is about redefining your path without losing yourself. Rahu as a co-ruler won't do much harm, but will tempt you with shortcuts to enlightenment or rebellion also. But Saturn is the main ruler of your chart, and it rewards patience and authenticity. So what you can do is that you should question your cravings. Ask, is this aligning with my truth? Is this useful? So use your courage to face illusions and rebuild with integrity. Balance your innovative skills with Saturn's wisdom. Real growth is both daring and disciplined. You have to understand this. And Rahu, being your co-ruler, won't do much harm to you if you cling on to that revolutionary side of it, if you cling on to that out-of-box thinking, which is represented by Rahu in the sign of Aquarius. So let's move forward and let's understand this transit for the Pisces rising. So for the Pisces ascendant, this transiting Rahu into the sign of Aquarius will be happening in the 12th house of yours. You might feel a subtle but persistent shift towards themes of endings, solitude, escapism, or spiritual longing. The 12th house is linked to hidden spaces, subconscious patterns, or subconscious realm in our human body, and liberation, foreign lands. It is now colored by Rahu's energy with this transit of illusion, obsession, and a hunger for the unknown, breaking the patterns, unpredictability. So you could find yourself overthinking fears, or fixing on past regrets, of feeling drawn to escapism, whether through daydreaming or spiritual practices, or even through unhealthy habits like substance abuse or getting addicted to any kind of substances. Since Rahu also activates the moksha trikona in your case, which is 4th, 8th, and 12th house, so this transit, it urges you to confront deeper layers of your life. The 4th house of home, family, and inner security and mother may stir up unresolved emotions or a restlessness about your roots, about your emotional, homely comfort, about your security. The 8th house of transformation could push you to face buried truths of or fears about change, while the 12th house amplifies a desire to break free from old cycles. These themes might feel heavy, but they are guiding you towards release. Release from your emotional baggages, release from the pains you have endured through those transformations in the past. So Rahu's illusions here could trick you into believing you are stuck or you are powerless, but it isn't so, especially when it comes to relationships with the past or unseen forces. Since Jupiter is your ascendant lord, your Lagnesh, so it rules wisdom and faith. Its influence can help you see through Rahu's fog. So if you consciously choose clarity over confusion, this could really help you a lot. However, Jupiter's expansive nature might also magnify Rahu's obsessions, like making small worries feel overwhelming, or small problems, they might portray themselves in a huge manner. So you'll need to ground yourself in reality, perhaps through routines, mentorships, or spiritual practices that reconnect you with your purpose, with your higher purpose also. And with that spiritual belief, which you carry since your birth. To navigate this transit, lean into Rahu's innovative side as a remedy, because Rahu is coming in its own co-ruled sign, in its own domain. So Rahu rewards bold, unconventional thinking, unpredictability, out of the box thinking. Rahu's unexpected, daring act to rescue the earth as a Varaha Avtar could help you as a remedy. You can do that as a remedy. So similarly, you might break free from illusions by doing something unexpected, maybe a creative project or a sudden shift in perspective, or confronting your fear that you have avoided since so many years. You can do all these things as remedy. So experimentation could help you see beyond limitations. Even small acts of rebellion against old habits or self-imposed restrictions might spark clarity in your case. So Rahu here in the 12th house isn't just about chaos or chaotic situations. It is a call to rewrite your story. Stay open to ideas that feel radical and trust that liberation often comes through courage, not comfort. This is important in your case. Liberation isn't about death and rebirth. Liberation is also sometimes related to your identity and your present poor state. You can also feel liberated when you get out of the situation. So this is important in your case. And the thing which I've said about substance abuse is not only related to or alcohol, it is also related to watching reels all day. This is also a kind of intoxication which will harm you. So you shouldn't be doing that. You should be channelizing your energy into creative thinking, into out of the box thinking related to the 12th house, related to spirituality. Find new motives, find new ways in spirituality and spiritual connections in foreign lands, especially if you are connected to someone foreign in your whatever business relationship or your personal relationship. You should talk to them and talk about spirituality to them as a remedy. It will help you so much. So this was my understanding about this transit of Rahu into the sign of Aquarius for the next 1.5 years. Next video will be coming soon about the Ketu's transit into the sign of Leo, and we'll dive deep into some interesting insights there as well, in that video as well. And many egos will be shattered and many kings will fall. So all these things, all this symbolism, we'll try to understand that for all the specific ascendants there in that video. So for that, you have to stay connected and like this video, share this video with your friends and family, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Thank you.